Hey, what is up? What's going on, guys? Joe here, 690ADV, 690ADV.com. KTM 2020 1290 Super Adventure. Yeah, really cool stuff. Very neat, kind of futuristic in some of the things that they have going on, at least in the motorcycle world. And yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it on the Rant and Ride. Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody had a fantastic week. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Rant and Ride. Yeah, KTM, the 1290 Super Adventure. If you don't know much about it, it's basically KTM's version of the 1200GS for the BMW or the 1200 for the Triumph or some of the other bikes that are out there. Yeah, they're 2020 that they are coming out with, or the 2021. Wow. Leave it to KTM, man. KTM is just magnificent in what they do. They just are not second to anybody. They are not. They just make fantastic motorcycles. Just like this one. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed and you're not part of the 690 ADV, hey, get over there, smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear. Don't forget we have podcasts on Sundays and Thursdays. And don't forget we have a Patreon-only giveaway coming up. I'm going to announce that on our Patreon website at patreon.com/690ADV. And if you want to be a sponsor and help the channel out and help us grow and get more neat things and cool things, man, we sure would love to have you, and we could so use your support. Anyway, on to the 1290 Super Adventure. Man, KTM, I mean, they're not one to be second. That's not their thing. That's not their bag. That's not their gig. They don't buy into that. So if you haven't seen any research on this, you really should check it out. We're going to have pictures on screen, so if you'll see them pop up periodically throughout the video. That 1290 Super Adventure is really, it looks cool, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's sexier. I think it's a better looking bike than the 1200 in any of the series of bikes. That would be the Triumph or the Yamaha or Honda, any of those. I just think it's just a cooler looking bike. And it's not that I'm just biased to KTM. I basically look and buy with my eyes. And I just think it is a good looking motorcycle. But the bike, what they've done is they created a nice larger fairing on that front end. And if you look at some of the pictures on screen, you'll see it's fatter in the front, which is going to be really awesome for if you're doing highway riding or something like that. So if you're looking or thinking about getting an adventure bike or getting a second bike to do long traveling on, man, that's going to keep a lot of the stuff off you. It's going to keep the wind off of your legs, off of your chest area, your core. And definitely with that new windscreen that they're putting on there, it looks like it's adjustable. So it's going to keep tons and tons of air off of you. That doesn't seem like much, but when you're punching down lots of miles, and I've done 500-600 miles in a day, man, it'll beat you down. If you've done long travel, down in the comments, tell riders what wind protection does for you and how nice it is to have that protection and it not look goofy. Because I've had some bikes that some of the stuff just looks really, really goofy. You get a giant windscreen and all that stuff and it just looks hilarious. Got a jogger running by. But yeah, wind protection is just one of those things that is just a must so that you can keep down some of that fatigue and it will help you last longer on the road. And those new lines on that bike and how they designed it, if you look at the picture on screen, what does it look like? Yeah, it looks like a KTM 790. They did. They really took that bike, and it looks like they morphed it a little bit into a 790 type of model, which makes total sense because I got my hands on a 790 just the other weekend at KTM North Texas, and I got to walk around it and check it out. And man, I'll tell you what, I sat on it, very comfortable, and it just felt right. It felt right. It just felt like it was ready to get on the road and take care of some business. Now, this is the S model, not the R model. Know that there is a difference between the two. They are not the same. They are not even, they're just not. They are not the same. Remember, that's like the difference between a KTM 690R and a KTM Supermoto Edition, or SMC. They are not the same bike. Don't buy an SMC thinking it's an R. Anyway, back to the 1290 Super S Adventure and the R Adventure. Yeah, it's coming in 2 models. It's gonna be cool, man. Basically the S is gonna come in a pretty much a standard, you know, it's gonna be good for those fire roads and light off-roading and stuff like that. And it's gonna be a 19-inch front, and it looks like it's gonna have a 17-inch rear. And the R is always gonna be your more off-road oriented bike with a 21-inch spoke front and an 18-inch rear. Now, the 1917 is going to be a cast tire from what the pictures show on screen, which is more, basically, it's more of a cruiser type bike, being a road bike first, dirt second. If you look at the fairings and the way that everything comes down, you can see by the pictures that they're carrying the fuel low, and with that being, that means the center of gravity, they're basing that off of the 790 Adventure. And you know what? More fuel, and it's gonna give you a better center of gravity, so the bike is gonna be not so top heavy. It's gonna have a better, basically, balance point. So it's gonna make it a lot more fun to ride, and you're not gonna have to work the bike nearly as hard. Headlights, it's got a new front end. It's got a twin headlight design, and that's gonna basically project a whole lot more onto the road, so you're gonna have better visibility than the standard single light like they have on the 1090. It's just gonna all around be better. You're gonna have more visibility in turning, and also when you're on the highway and if you have to ride at night. It's gonna be really kind of nice having a twin headlight design. Now here's the thing that is just magnificent. And if you know anything about this and you want to share it with, if I missed something, down in the comments, put it down there and let other riders know. But this is the most exciting thing, because I've never heard of it, and I think KTM is going to be the first to bring it out there. If you look on the front, and it's going to be kind of hard to see, there is a split between the lights. And that split, and it's been basically talked about and put out there, ACC. And if you don't know what ACC is, I have it in my truck, my Jeep. My wife has it in her car. It's becoming more common in your vehicles. Adaptive cruise control. And how cool would that be to have an adaptive cruise control on a motorbike? Dude, you can sit there, dial it in, and then when you're running, it's gonna basically keep track of the flow of traffic when you're on the highway and doing stuff. Now, that's not going to prevent you from having an accident or something like that, but it's going to allow you to not have to sit there and dump off the cruise control and reset it all the time. So if you don't know what ACC is, ACC basically uses a radar, and it senses between you and oncoming, or the traffic in front of you, and it senses and keeps you at a safe distance between that vehicle. So if another car slows down, it's going to slow down with it, and as it picks back up, you pick back up with it. Man, that is fantastic, awesome. That is the coolest thing in the world coming to a motorcycle. I don't know. I just think that is neat, man. The future is here. It's fantastic, and thank you to KTM for stepping up and being so innovative in all the things that they do, because like I said, man, KTM, they are not willing to be number 2. That's why they've won the Dakar 18 years in a row. So, but anyway, this bike looks to be fantastic. The more information I get, this is not a review. This is just information if you don't know anything about it, and hopefully it will help you out. And if you're thinking about getting a bike and you want one of these when they do come out, you'll know about it before it gets out there. Just remember, 690 brought it to you first. Hey, you know what? Happy Friday. I hope you had a fantastic day, and thanks for stopping in and sharing your time with me while we're out riding around and we're ranting around. I appreciate you. Don't forget, hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget about our Patreon. If you want to be a supporter and a sponsor, man, we sure would love to have you because it would help us out so much. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Thanks so much for being part of it. We love you at 690. And don't forget, Sundays are our podcast, so stick around. We got some good stuff coming, and just kind of little, I'm going to let the mini cat out of the bag. We got some really cool stuff coming, man. So stick around. We appreciate you. 690 out.